recently a young journalist came to interview me, and he said, my favorite chapter is chapter 19 of your book. And I said, what's that one? He said, yes, it's called The Summer of My Spider Bite. So I was on my way to teach a peace building class in New York. And before I left, I went to my garden, which had at that time a huge grapevine that was so overgrown. I don't know how many of you have had experience with grapevines here. Okay, there's something special about grapevines. They're first of all, they're multi-directional. There are a lot of plants that will grow up or out or so forth, but grapevines, they grow in all directions at once, right? Do you know the expression, I heard it on the grapevine? Mm-hmm. So that's why it's called that, because you start a rumor and you don't know where it'll go, right? Mm-hmm. So I knew I was going to be gone for a month, and I decided I had to cut some of it back to prune it, because when I got back home, I wouldn't be able to get in the garden, because it fastens itself around everything, around other trees, around chairs, around anything that's in the way. If you stand there too long, it'll fasten itself around you. And the next morning, when I was leaving to go to the airport, I noticed I had a big bump right here in the middle of my third eye. I didn't have time to deal with it, so I put some alcohol on it, and I took the plane to New York. And I discovered that it was actually a spider bite. And it got big and inflamed and red, and I had to go to the hospital, and I got some medication for it. And I was told that I was lucky that it could have been fatal. We don't know what spider it was. But what happened after that was worth all the time I spent suffering and all the pain and the itching. Because what happened is that whoever I met, they saw something else. So I met one person, a Muslim, who said to me, are you Muslim? And I said, no, I'm Jewish. And they said, oh, I thought you had that bump from putting your head to the floor 5 times a day. And then when it got really red and it was centered like that, I met someone on the subway who said to me, are you Hindu? And I said, no. She said, oh, I thought you were wearing a bindi. You know, the little red spots that the women put for decoration, right? And then I thought, well, there's this old method I heard about treating these kind of things. I'll put some clay on it. And so I put clay on it, and I met another woman who said to me, oh my God, is it Ash Wednesday already? I'm a lapsed Catholic, she said. I didn't realize it was so soon. I said, no, it just. And then I finally went to teach my peace class. And the students there said to me, there's someone living here on campus, and he is a Native American, and he's a shaman. And you need to go and see him. So they took me to see him, and he came up and definitely an arrowhead. Do you realize that you received a shamanic initiation? Because it's in your third eye. And I said, yes, I do. I felt that it was something special. And he said, do you know what that means? That means you've been initiated, you have a special task. Do you know what that task is? I said, yes, and it has to do with everybody's reaction to my spider bite. Because if everybody saw himself and herself in me, that means that you are in me. That means that I am in you. And if that's true, how can we be having so much violence in the world? And what can one person do to make a difference? One person.